Your future is now faster, and it's not going back to a slow-paced world. You have learned to work at speed, and you now have to learn how to keep that speed with everything you do, and that's what I've been doing in the virtual broadcast studio here. I've been learning to build out, the capabilities of what I can do within this small 9x12 space, because I am convinced part of what is happening here is a fundamental change in our world going forward. So what are the trends which are really shaping our future? Well, I think what is happening is right now there are multiple trends coming together that are leading to this massive disruption to 2030 and which have accelerated with COVID. Number one, there is a whole bunch of trends coming together all at once. Virtual reality, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, 3D printing, robotics. What has happened here is so many ideas have come together all at once. It's almost like it's turned on the imagination machine of entrepreneurs worldwide, where they realize they can develop business models, they can develop products, they can pursue ideas, they can invent things at a speed that has never previously been possible before. Part of what is happening here is that a major part of this trend is that every single company, every single industry is becoming a software-driven industry. Think about cars. Think about the Tesla I've got in my driveway. It's not a car. It's a rolling, upgradable, hyper-tech platform on wheels. Think about the world of healthcare. Think about the blood pressure cuffs that we might have that are connected to the internet. Healthcare medical devices are becoming intelligent, connected things. And what happens here is that makes medical device companies a software company. Think about the world of agriculture as we get robotics and we get precision farming and we get these advanced technologies which bring us into a world in which we can farm 24 hours a day. The arrival of drone technology. The world of farming has become a software-driven industry. And what's really driving this is what we call hyperconnectivity, where every single device which is a part of our life today is becoming plugged in, connected. Now this could get weird. This could get out of hand. One morning, I might get up on my weigh scale. It's going to send an email over to my fridge. Don't let Jim in today. He's not living up to the terms of his deal. And then it's going to contact my insurance company and say, don't let Jim in the fridge today, and cut off his insurance coverage. But hyperconnectivity is a massive trend. Your car today is an upgradable, hyper-connected data gathering technology platform with wheels and a big battery. It's not a car anymore. You think about a Tesla. It's a high-tech platform. And think about the impact of this on the world of insurance. The world of insurance, we are moving in a world of insurance where we will underwrite your insurance risk based on looking back in time at your driving behavior to examining your driving behavior in real time. This is coming at us extremely quickly. Every single industry changes because of hyperconnectivity. I was in Nashville just before the pandemic with a company called Philips Medical Devices. And what we were explaining from the stage is that you're no longer selling a widget. You're no longer selling the single standalone device. You are selling a hyper-connected, intelligent, AI-driven thing, which happens to change the world of healthcare. But do you know what happens when every single industry becomes a software-driven industry? Moore's law defines the speed of change. And Moore's law is the law that the processing power of a computer chip doubles every 18 months and the cost cuts in half. That level of speed of change is coming to every single industry. And what that is doing is it's accelerating industries faster and faster. Products go out of date faster in this world. Think about how quickly you replace your iPhone. You're now replacing your iPhone every 18 months or 24 months or less. And we will be replacing our cars. We will be replacing devices in our homes. We will be replacing office infrastructure. We will be replacing everything faster because products now go out of date faster than ever before. One of the most fascinating trends is that science itself is accelerating. We have Fitbits for cows. I think this is absolutely one of the most fascinating trends that is out there. Fitbits for cows, collar devices, which can monitor the health of the animal. And those Fitbits for cows are monitored by drone technology. Drones flying over the herd, reading the data from the Fitbit for the cow. Well, what do drones have? They have batteries. What's the problem with batteries? Batteries run out of juice. Drones can't stay in the air too long, but there is a tremendous amount of scientific research going into drone battery technology to make drones stay in the air longer. What happens with that? Batteries are at the heart of everything. Batteries are at the heart of our electric vehicles. They're at the heart of our electrical grid. They're at the heart of what we will do in the future as we take the solar off our roof and the wind in our backyard and store it into batteries in our backyard and feed it into the electrical grid at the end of the day. You know, this cost of battery storage technology has declined by 97% in the last 3 decades. I wrote this blog post some time ago. You remember the movie The Graduate? And the young Dustin Hoffman is speaking to the older fellow, and he says, I've got one word for you about the future, plastic. I've got one word for you about the future, and it's batteries. It's not just battery science. Every single aspect of of science is changing. You know, I spoke to one group once, and I said, you know, here's a fascinating statistic. Right now, there are about 19 million known chemical substances, and that number is doubling every 13 years. So by the year 2025, we are going to have 80 million known chemical substances. But by the year 2100, there will be 1 billion known chemical substances. Well, you're wondering, what the heck does this mean to me? Here's a really interesting story. 19 million known chemical substances to 1 billion. It was the discovery of one single new chemical substance that permitted Apple to miniaturize the hard drive for the original Apple iPod. The discovery of one single new chemical substance led to the birth of a billion-dollar industry. One substance, and we're going from 19 million to 1 billion. We are on the precipice with scientific acceleration of the discovery of the unknown, products that do not yet exist. I think one of the most fascinating trends which is accelerating in our future is what we call edge thinking. Crowdfunding networks, where somebody with an idea can now go to a global audience and seek out the funding, convincing them of their idea of what is possible and bring that to market. What this is really doing is this is accelerating ideas. New ideas can come to our world faster than ever before. Because really what is going on in the world of incubators, in the world of product discovery, in the world of startups, in the world of small organizations, they can now bring products to market faster than ever before. Context of all this, knowledge itself is absolutely exploding. Somebody asked in the Q&A, what about education? Here's a reality about education. Existing knowledge is going out of date extremely quickly at the same time that new knowledge is appearing. And what that is doing is leading to the birth of new careers, new opportunities. My 28-year-old son works as a drone pilot. He's building an air force for a commercial industrial real estate firm. He's working in a job that did not exist when he was a child. 65% of kids in preschool today will work in a job or career that does not yet exist because of the acceleration of knowledge. You know, in the world of healthcare, the volume of medical knowledge right now, it used to be doubling every 8 years. And now with the acceleration of COVID science and everything having to do with the pandemic, the volume of global medical knowledge is now doubling every 78 days. No one medical professional can know everything they need to know to deal with the reality of what is occurring out there. And what this leads to is massive specialization of skills, the niching of skills, just-in-time knowledge, instant knowledge obsolescence, the rapid emergence of new knowledge. And what are we going to do in an educational setting to deal with this reality? We have to develop the ability to get the right knowledge to the right industries at the right time for the right purpose. A world of accelerating knowledge leads to the domination of partnerships because organizations can't do everything on their own. Have you noticed all the little startups coming about because of Amazon and home delivery? There's a lot of last mile delivery companies which are appearing, and there's actually the arrival of a lot of last mile delivery technology, little robotic machines which will deliver products to your home. I was actually in Texas with a home builder. They're putting driveway drone pads in the new homes they're building because they fully expect that one day in the future there will be little drones flying in to deliver product. Well, retailers are going to do that with partners who can help them get there. Somebody in the Q&A asked about small organizations. This is an unprecedented time for small organizations to define the future. Small organizations can even move faster than big organizations. Look at the company Square, who developed this little credit card reader by which merchants could accept credit cards. And they did this in the context of a world in which American Express and Visa and MasterCard could not operate at speed. All of this is happening in the context in which organizations are reinventing revenue faster. We're in a situation in which if products are going out of date faster than ever before, organizations are having to come up with new products faster than ever before. And here's a really interesting story from the world of food and nutraceuticals. There's a company in Australia or Israel called Mina. And what they've realized is that your glycemic index for an apple might be different from somebody else's glycemic index for an apple. And using iPhone technology and using medical device sensing technology, we can develop an app by which people can do customizable, programmable, real-time food planning based upon instant health assessment, based upon real-time analysis of blood sugars, utilizing the mobile devices which are so much a part of their lives. Well, you know who's really interested in this as a trend? Organizations like BASF, Johnson & Johnson, Nestle. They view this as a $4 billion market opportunity that's going to emerge in the next 5 years. They're in a situation in which they realize that their future comes from a world in which they can generate tomorrow revenue from products which do not yet exist today. How are you going to do that going forward into a fast-paced future? Oh, this is happening. I'm about 2 minutes before the next Q&A, in which attention spans are absolute collapsing. You know, a study said the typical goldfish today has a longer attention span than a human. When we go into a grocery store, we are scanning some 12 feet of shelf space per second. We have no attention spans left. And that's why one of the most profound trends going forward is we need to shorten our story. We need to challenge ourselves in terms of brand perception. Another trend we need to watch is that distributed technologies are defining our future. In my home, I've got solar on my roof, I've got my Tesla in the driveway, and somebody will put together the technology for battery storage technology in which we can build a little microgrid to share energy amongst ourselves in the neighborhood. This is an emerging billion-dollar industry. Virtualization is maturing. All these kids playing video games, they're not playing video games. Look at a kid today who's playing Farmville. What are they really doing? They're developing the skills to manage a 24-hour farming operation via virtualization technology. I was in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and I was actually using a virtual weld headset, managing a welding machine thousands of miles away. What's the impact on skills? Companies in the future will not have the skills they need to do things that need to get done. They're going to have to partner. They're going to have to specialize. They're going to have to, be able to access. You ever notice the Maytag repairman? His role has changed. Now, the Maytag repairman, they used to run a commercial that, he would come on TV and he was the loneliest man in the world because Maytags never broke down. Maytag repairman came into our home quite some time ago and he said, your washer is broken. He didn't have tools. He had a laptop. He plugged in the laptop. He rebooted it, reprogrammed it, and it worked. One day soon, your front doorbell is going to ring and the Maytag repairman is going to be there. You're going to say, I didn't call the Maytag repairman. And he's going to say, no, you didn't, but your washer did because your washer told me it was going to break down. We are witnessing so much change, and what this is doing is leading to a fundamental shift in business models. This is what the future is all about.